Hey, welcome everybody. I'm opening the RDC meeting for July 8th, 2026. It's 5:01. Zach, roll call of our members. Here.
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 Not here. Yep, so we have 3 out of the 5 members, which constitutes a quorum. So we will proceed. I don't have any amendments to the agenda. We have the minutes that were sent out. Look those over and see if there's anything that needs to be changed. I'd like to acknowledge that Ryan Hoover has just come in, so now we have a 4th member. There's no changes. I'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve the minutes.
I wasn't here.
Hey, Ryan, you want a second?
Yes.
Thank you. Seen a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carries. You can still second it.
I
Okay.
didn't know if that was possible.
All right. We have a short agenda, really. We have Baker Tilly Management Agreement. Zach, is there anything in that you saw that's atypical? Same thing we did last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing.
No concerns on my end.
And it looks like when you guys do a motion, it looks like you need to motion to approve me to sign it because they put it to me.
For the Baker
you
Tilly
guys.
contract?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is just covering what Baker Tilly does for us. It doesn't lock us into anything other than says that they do stuff for us. And then if we hire them, it has some hourly rates in there, which is what we always pay them, so. So when you make a motion, it is motion to allow Susan to sign this document.
So I make a motion to approve the agreement and allow Susan Sleeper, the auditor, to sign and approve the document from Baker Tilly.
And I will second that motion.
Okay, we have a first and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carries. Is that good?
Yep.
Great. Okay. Doug, you want to say something? Jump around a little bit. Go ahead.
There we go. I just want to give you guys a recap on our training facility expansion, if I could. Have some pictures, if I could pass those out to you guys.
Yes.
Thanks, Chief.
Great.
You're good. Thank you.
Okay, so this is the.
So if you're looking at the picture, so everything from the dark asphalt roadway south is the new part. So if you see where that the blue building that is at an angle, everything south of that is the new part. So as you're going around the picture on the left side, the brown gray building, so that's our storage building that houses all of our LP props, as well as a training engine for us. In the far background, the black and white, that is our rail car. That just got delivered the end of June. So that was about a year process for that. So we're really excited about that. Coming back to the north then, there's 3 shipping containers there. Those shipping containers will house our piping for pipe leaks, valving leaks, and as well as chlorine tank leaks. So everything will be housed inside of those. That will give our crews a more realistic feel about being in a room as opposed to being wide out in the open on a parking lot. So as you're coming further north, you can see that one semi-trailer there. That's our box truck. That was donated by Penske, $0. So that was a very nice donation for us. So that'll be used for 55-gallon drum, over-the-road hazmat, storage and transportation. So any incidents that we deal with those, we can train with that trailer as well. And then the 6 yellow containers there, that's our walkout basement structure. So on the back side of that, it's actually 3 containers tall. So it simulates a walkout basement house. So that is just about completed. We got the basement done today. We're working on the first floor, and then we'll move up to the second. So out of all that, we're about 70% done with what we had requested and what you guys have appropriated for us. So that was originally 350,000. So we've got roughly $153,000 left. And we just have 2 more acquisitions to get, which would be 2 more trailers. One is a high-pressure trailer, carries LP and ammonia. Then the other trailer is a low-pressure trailer, which you see carrying gasoline up and down the highway. So we're trying to get those 2 trailers done. Those are becoming more difficult. Just before the meeting, I did make contact with a company out of Gary, Indiana. So they have a few of those trailers for sale. So hopefully we can talk to them and see what we can come up with there. So the only other option I've come across is online auctions. So my question, I guess, tonight would be for Susan. How would online auctions work if we have to go that route to acquire those? And you don't have to answer tonight. I mean, I know that's a weird question or an odd question, I guess, but that's kind of where we're at. I'm also looking at those online auction companies and trying to talk to them before they put it up for sale on the site, see if we can get maybe first dibs or, see if we can work something out.
How much do you think one?
So the high-pressure trailer, you're looking somewhere around that $70,000 to $100,000 mark. The gasoline tankers are a little cheaper than that. So.
Probably are going to have to talk to the auction company to find out.
Okay.
Like, let them know it's a government entity that's going to be purchasing it, and I wouldn't be able to, like, I could direct deposit them the money and they could get it the next day. But obviously we wouldn't know what that value would be until the time. So if they would give a leeway of, say, 48 hours, then I could get it processed and sent to them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Which would probably be the easiest.
Okay. All right. If I make more contact with them or get further information, I'll be in touch with you.
Yeah, and if they need to contact me, they can contact me.
All right. Perfect.
Right.
Thank you.
Yep.
Doug, email me again with what you need now. I know we weren't able to help with the rail car work, but let me know about the tankers and I can see if there's something work can do there too. No guarantees, but.
All right. I know we looked at some of the valving that you had there. So if you had any of that set aside or whatever that.
Yeah, if you want to come back over sometime and, yep.
Okay, perfect, thank you. I do want to say OmniSource was a huge contributor to the rail car. They were the one that secured the rail car and had it decommissioned, had it cleaned, shipped to Garrett CSX depot site there. So they were a huge supporter for us on that. And then the local trucking company actually trucked it over from 15th Street rail crossing over to our facility. So it was about a 7-hour ordeal to dismantle it, put it on the trailer, and then reestablish it on our rail. So I was off work, unfortunately, so all I got to see was just videos, but it was pretty neat.
What's the last picture of? Just curious.
I'm sorry. So page 2, that just gives a more close-up view of the trailer and the boxes and the rail car. That page 3, so that is when we had the concrete poured, we talked to Cease Construction about putting in some type of pit. So that'll be a flammable liquids pit, so we can simulate like the gasoline spill or an oil spill or even in a dike area inside a facility that ignites and has flammable liquids in there, we can practice putting foam applications on those types of fires. If you guys have any questions or anything, I'm also here to invite you to stop over anytime you want and take a look at it, walk through with it with me. I'd be glad to show you.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Okay. Moving on to our last, Susan, do we need to do anything with this?
I think, I kind of looked, I think last year you just did a motion to
Approve it?
approve me to submit the budget, but
Okay, we're gonna move into the budget that's this document. It's submitted to the state. What this is just the budget that we give them. It's not our actual operating budget per se,
correct.
but it's the budget that we use. You don't have it?
It's at the very back of all your pages.
Maybe behind your maps. Maybe behind your maps.
Oh,
Under all the maps.
There it is.
trick this.
Thank you. My mistake.
Okay, so this is really just for state accounting purposes. And we don't usually, we've never even come close to those numbers. So she needs to submit that to the state. Last year, we just approved her doing that as part of our budget.
I don't know what I need to motion. Do I need to make a motion to
Just
approve?
motion to approve
To
Susan.
approve the 2027 requested budget
As presented.
as presented to the RDC.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Good with that?
Yep.
All right, moving into TIF districts. Okay, so we've been talking about this a little bit in the last several meetings. And so today, we're just gonna get into it a little bit more. So I gave you two different documents, why our TIF districts created. So you can read that, that's for you to take home, look it over. And the other one is a process for how TIF districts get put in. So kind of the process that we go through. There's also a checklist at the end of that. I don't know if we follow that totally, but it gives you an idea of at least what the process is, which is what I want you to give you. Okay, so what we're going to try and do, I've talked with the commissioners about this, and what they would like is to try and get a consensus on the expansion or creation of new TIF districts. So we kind of get it through the process, so that we're prepared that if we want to pull the trigger, we can do it very quickly. So that's all we're really doing right now. Today, what I've given you is these two big maps show what the SDI TIF allocation area is, and the other one was the American Heritage TIF. So you can see where these are at right now. As you remember, the SDI has expired. And all there's left is the New Millennium, which is the little red one. Okay. Okay, so we've also given you, you've got these maps. Okay, it should be labeled SDI map at the top. What that is, it just shows you the area in that quadrant. And I went in and turned on the zoning. And so the red shows you what the zoning area is up through there. And then the next two are just expanded of what the bigger picture is on the front. Okay?
Is red zoning essentially industrial?
Red's industrial, and then green is agricultural.
And then the lighter, there's like a lighter red, is that?
It's I-1.
Okay.
So I-2, I-3, or I guess that's I-2.
Okay.
And then the dark around it, looks like it's I-3. It just gives you an idea of what that looks like.
Oh, no, you're good.
Okay, so the goal of today is just to begin the conversation, I say, on what makes sense, and if we are going to do a new TIF, what you guys think makes sense. And then what we're gonna do is take that, we can then start talking with the planning department, start talking with commissioners, and get a consensus on this makes sense as far as the area, and then we go through the process. Okay? Does anybody have any thoughts on?
Start with one, kind of focus on it, or you
Yeah,
want
let's
to?
just start with the SDI one,
Okay.
that area. So Kellen, where we're at, you'll probably want to chime in on this as well, is okay, so we've got we're looking at the maps and kind of where to expand these things out to.
Wait a minute, you were watching the video on the way here? That seems unsafe.
Perfect. All right, so, you know, if we're looking at what we had before, obviously the SDI area, I think, you know, we should pick that back up again, and then looking at expanding that up, probably 61 on either side. Yeah, there should be an extra set.
I didn't make Leon one because I knew he wasn't coming.
We had broached this years ago, probably 3 or 4 years ago, around SDI. At that time, we were talking about going all the way over to County Road 63 and carrying that up to State Road 8, or State Road 6. And then carrying it back down 59, and then around the SDI property down to State Road 8. That was a general discussion. We didn't go past that. So, you know, in the past, what we had kind of began.
Page 2 of these shows the county road
Shows the map.
numbers easier.
Basically, this view would all be the TIF,
Generally, yeah.
more or less.
Yeah, that would encompass all of the areas that are zoned industrial. And then it would carry up to the State Road 6, which is where the fire station is, which we gave them a bunch of money, and it kind of makes sense to include those in our TIF.
I haven't been over there, but a little birdie told me that there's a lot of test borings going on north of County Road 40, north of SDI. I don't know if anybody knows what that is.
I don't know what it is, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, John Slentz mentioned it to me, and I was like, curious what's going on there and
Makes sense what that is.
how that might, what's going on there.
Right.
So, and if that's the case, if there is something going on there, and we won't get this in
Yes, we will.
okay.
Yeah, because we go back a year.
Oh, okay, I forget that part. Yep,
Yes,
okay,
So no matter what's happening now or in the next year, we're able
Yep.
to encompass it.
okay,
But that's kind of why we're getting the process going a little bit.
yep, okay.
Anybody have any thoughts on any of that?
I approached John about this, stating that that's kind of our industrial corridor of the county, that it should be probably TIF'd, so that way any businesses that want to come in, we have the ability to help them with some infrastructure, which is what the TIFs are designed for. And that road gets heavily used quite a bit by SDI and whatever else comes in there that the TIF could use to keep that road. It's, the road's built, I don't know, more robust than most roads because of all the heavy traffic there. So to repair that would be bigger expense to the county. So,
If that, I mean, that's a big area. If there's, it encompasses, one, a lot of residential folks, there's probably gonna be a lot of questions because a lot of people in that geographical area that would think, what's going on in my area? And then two, there's a fair number of small businesses in there that, as they grow then, would they be a,
It doesn't affect them. All that happens is so whatever the assessed value is now stays. So if we were to do it today, whatever it's assessed now stays.
okay.
And then anything that increases, we're just picking up that increment.
I'm just kind of putting on my
So as far as
John,
for
public
property
hat.
owners, it
Yeah.
really has no bearing on anything they're doing. It doesn't increase their taxes. It doesn't.
Yep.
So it's just us being able to capture it, to be able to take that money and invest it back into that district.
Yep, that was my understanding. I just wanted to make sure, and,
this is all SDI right here.
you know, you start putting out public notices that are, hey, that affects my area. I have a lot of questions, right?
Sure.
That area north of SDI, up to 40, they own all that.
Right,
Road 40 and
Yep.
County Road 55.
Yeah, they own all that,
yep. Between 63 and
yeah.
57-ish, maybe.
Even that woods there they own.
Yep. Yeah, so it obviously makes sense to include that
Yep.
I tried to pick
in
up
that corridor.
much as the industrial zone area that we can get, and then that area is most likely going to continue to develop.
Now, Zach, the Butler ETJ kind of comes in there from County Road 61 up from 34, in that brown area. How's that gonna affect anything? That's their ETJ, does it affect anything? On this map, you see on this map right here? This little brown area right here, this is Butler's ETJ.
I don't,
Because they go from US 6 down to 34 on the east side of 61.
it wouldn't, best of my knowledge, it wouldn't impact, the ETJ does not impact the TIF. Is that what you're,
I didn't know how, yeah, just,
it's, if they were to annex it in, it's a different story. But while it's ETJ, if the county puts a TIF on that area, then they don't have any, there's no conflict.
okay. Waiting for annexation.
Will they want, I mean, if they do annex it, will that affect that?
Once the TIF is already established and we have a bond against it, then they can't do anything with it.
So,
Right, so will it be?
Keep that in mind. But if we have,
pushback
no
from the city
bond
then?
against it, against that TIF, then they can kick us off that section of the TIF.
well,
It gets a little complicated.
It sounds a little complicated.
if we have a TIF and then borrow money against it or have a bond or we owe money on it, we control, the county would control it basically so that we can make the payments to satisfy the debt.
Says the debt.
But we can't, the county couldn't put new debt against that TIF area.
Okay,
And then if we have nothing, if we don't owe any money on it and the city annexes it, it kind of becomes a no man's land unless the county releases their TIF because the county can't do anything without the city's permission and the city's generally not going to give permission.
yep,
So it can get messy, but
okay.
it's kind of, the law is kind of designed that the county's going to release their, or de-TIF that area because the county can't do anything with it,
Yep,
stops the city. I don't know that the statute would require us to, but it would be messy. Could be messy.
and Kellen, that's that brown area, that's this right here, right?
Correct. It's pretty far away from where their city limits actually is at.
You can see the little red lines.
That red line's the city limits.
That's
Yeah,
the city
so
limits.
I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to say what it looks like in 20 years, but
yeah, I mean,
You like that? where that's at? Yeah, okay.
So you want to pick up the ETJ or not pick it up? What are your guys' thoughts?
I mean, I probably wouldn't, maybe from 61 to 63, but I wouldn't go past 63 to the east.
I was just gonna say, I'd hate to miss it there on the east side of 61 for sure.
Mm-hmm. I was just trying to pick up the fire station was my thought.
No,
Yeah,
it makes it easier to then justify giving them
Right.
some money later on. I know we already kind of made the justification, but it's just easier to do it later on.
Yeah, yep.
And the one thing I just thought of with the ETJ, the other complication is they do control the planning and zoning. So if the county is saying, we want to help this business come develop here, and then Butler says, no, we're not going to rezone, we're not going to pass your development plan or anything like that, that's where there's potential complication. Granted, the county plan commission could do the same, we're not one body, but the city would have some control, has the control in their ETJ on planning, zoning approvals.
So if they,
Does Butler have an RDC?
I don't believe so.
I don't think they do.
that's what I was just gonna ask, is if they did decide to annex that, then they could TIF it. We haven't.
But they don't, like I said, I don't think they have an RDC right now.
Yep,
Auburn does, but I don't think that they do.
yep,
So it might actually be beneficial.
right.
But
According to Google, it says yes.
What's that?
That Butler has an active redevelopment.
Oh, they do?
commission,
Oh, good, okay.
According to Google.
All right, great.
So it says their members are Justin Smith, Bob Beck, Chris Clevenger, Dwight Myers, and there's a vacancy as of January of '25.
Okay. So this would still fall outside of their jurisdiction because it's not in the city limits.
So if we do propose this, obviously,
There's no.
town of Butler would be notified,
Absolutely.
and if they wanna push back at that point, they have the opportunity to, and there can be more conversation. Otherwise, we just propose that and
This is just.
see what happens.
This is to get the ball rolling
Yeah,
is all
yep.
this is.
Yep.
Zach, you said,
FYI, they haven't had minutes since January of 2019. So I would say no.
so say they annex some of that part of that TIF in. Do we have to go through the whole process of redoing the whole TIF to get rid of, to de-TIF that area?
I don't know how that overlapping process works, but my assumption is yes. We would have to go through the full DTIF process, which is basically the same thing, the same process you do to create a TIF. So, I mean, that's the complication.
Correct. Also good going to County Road 34, not all the way up to 6. Or running it up 61, or whatever, so. I think the biggest area, I'm gonna make sure we're capturing is the, the SDI and the area around that.
I like the fact that it catches the rail, right?
Yeah, and you can, there's an orange on this map here. You can faintly see it, but this orange area up here,
Yep.
this is the 2008 expansion of our TIF. And so it ran all the way up County Road 61, right on the road, so it didn't pick up any parcels.
Yep.
All the way up and around that area up there. So that is an area that has been under our control in the past.
I guess I don't see any real reason not to make it the whole thing, with the exception of that corner.
How long does the TIF run?
25 years from the time the bond is issued.
Forever if we don't put any debt on it. Well, and the other thing we could do with that whole ETJ area is talk to Butler, see if they have any, not that they couldn't change their mind down the road, but if we talk to them and they say, yeah, it's in our 10-year plan to annex that part.
Take it back out. If we don't have to approve it at that point.
And they,
Probably better to have that conversation before we get too deep into it.
Yeah.
For sure.
and I mean, keep in mind too, annexing property that used to be a city could, or a county could or a city could easily go in and annex property when the majority of people were not in favor. Now it's, you have to have 75% of the owners approve the annexation, and not that easy to get that.
Just because Butler wants to annex it doesn't mean the landowners will, so,
Exactly.
in the short term, so.
All right, so what we're looking at, we're talking at, starting at US 6, going south between County Road 63 and County Road 59. Down to County Road 40.
Well, you weren't going all the way to state, well, I guess there's not
Well,
really much
that's
there.
down to 40, and then at 40, then we're going to go west over to County Road 55. That'll encompass the SDI. And carry that all the way down to State Road 8.
And back over to 63.
Coming across State Road 8, back over to 63.
Or we cutting it?
I mean, I think that's a good starting point. We can always shrink things down if need be.
Then going over to,
Okay, so I left off at west over to County Road 55, then what?
right here.
Down to 8.
Down to 8, then going east to County Road 63.
So if you're following 63, you're going all the way from State Road 6 to State Road 8.
Correct.
A lot of that land just east of the railroad track, between the railroad track and 63, was owned by one of the solar companies. So they're in the process of selling it, so we don't know who would be selling it, where it would be going, if it even go back to farmland, if it'd go into whatever.
Some of that's
Is there any reason to go south of State Road 8? I think I'll ag down there. I don't see any reason to.
That road's horrible, it's hilly, I don't even think semis can get down it, to be honest.
Okay. All right, is everybody okay with that? Okay, that will be our starting point. So next step will be starting to talk with the City of Butler, with the planning department, and seeing if anybody has any objections to it. This goes to a public hearing as well. There's a bunch of steps that go involved with this, but this is at least gets the ball rolling. Okay, let's go to we're going to the American Heritage TIF area. So you have one that says airport map on it, which is a little one. Airport map on it, let's go to that one. I think that's an easier one. Yes, and then on behind that, it shows you, so I found some information of what they're pushing out. So this piece here, this shows the site that they're trying to develop, or they want to have developed. It just gives you some information about what they're saying about it. On the back of that is some notes that they've had for their meetings that I was able to find, just saying that they're looking to actively do that. So that's why this is somewhat relevant to pick up this area. Also remember that right now, looking at your big map, there is a red area down there that is part of the American Heritage TIF. So that extends all the way down 427 across 60 and picks up that parcel. That was originally done because there was a hangar project that was gonna go in there. And then I don't know if it didn't happen or what, but we've never had to use it. Huh? I don't know, they've never requested any funding or anything. In 15 years I've been here at least. So, so at the, looking at the airport map, and how they've got it laid out, does it make sense to pick up the airport itself? Or not? That's a not-for-profit, right?
No, you can still. So I've been doing some research on that. The airport board's gonna get back to me on that, but you can still get some revenue off of that. It just is not on it's on the airport. There's two sections of land designated there. You have the part where the runway is at itself, but the hangars themselves can still be something different, so kind of looking into it. The airport board itself is pretty excited about being joined into it.
Great.
Because as they try to develop that land to the south, they're gonna need some infrastructure to help with that. And if they can be part of this, it would help.
Yeah, I know in some of my professional experience, the airport they hold the land, they keep the land, but then they will do a long-term lease to somebody to construct a building. And so the building itself would not be owned, and so we could pick up that revenue source while the land is still owned by the
And the
airport.
equipment inside of it.
Yeah.
If it's a business.
So just, that is how airports generally do this. So, yeah, I think it does make sense. Yeah.
John, this is what you're thinking as of right now?
That is just the zoning right now. I
It's
don't
just the
have
zoning.
any
Okay.
thoughts about it, really. Looking at kind of how it's all laid out, I think County Road 60 on the top, on the north end. County Road 31 on the east end. Either 427 or 69 on the west end. And then down to County Road 64 to pick up that parcel that they're marketing.
What's AP3 here on this section that goes over to 60?
Airport.
That's airport, okay.
That's just,
Okay.
I wouldn't get crazy about it yet. So,
When you're ready, then.
yeah. No, I also don't think we should pick up the big chunk of residential south of it.
I was just gonna say, there's really no reason to like do a connection along 427 because it's all residential too, right? I mean, visually, seems like it'd want it connected, but doesn't really have to be.
Mm-mm. Yeah. I think most likely what you'd see development-wise is you're gonna see that area on 427 and 64. That will happen. As the airport is pursuing that. From that, it will most likely carry north up to the airport. There's a good possibility it would go east, maybe a little ways, for expansion. And then the other area I would see that has potential is over to 69, between 427 and 69. Because you're gonna want, if anything's gonna possibly grow, I think that's where it would go. Pick up the visibility off of 69. And that little spot there that's the rest area on 69. We'll cut out.
Is there any long-term plan for any additional exits or interchanges along I-69 that would affect our thought process?
The only rumor I've heard is that possibly either at 66 or at 68. But that has been talked about for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
So, I don't know that there's anything
Yeah, I didn't
more
know.
than that.
Yeah, I didn't know if it ever actually hits a
I did,
formal plan.
I did catch,
mid-range plan.
I did catch in some of their notes somewhere that they had talked about a 69 access point, but didn't say where.
Yeah, this is the last note there on April 17th. The board member reported he was still working on pricing for feasibility study for a new I-69 exit.
Yeah, and I don't know what road that would hit off of.
Well, if I was the airport guy, I
The
would guess
airport was gonna
County
try
Road
to do it
60.
off of County Road 60,
Yeah,
Off of 60?
I would think.
but I'm not sure how viable that would actually be.
That road's awful.
It's awful.
It's horrible. They'd have to redo the whole thing.
Yeah.
But if you have an airport on County Road 60, it would stand to reason you would want an exit on County Road 60.
Makes sense.
Susan can contest, even if they decide now, it'd be 5 years before they even get in their construction cycle. I mean, they're 5 years out on planning, so I wouldn't worry too much about those rumors, because
All right.
Yeah, I was just wondering if it was by chance in that five-year cycle.
it is not at the current time.
Yep, okay.
Also, I was wondering, is the goal to connect the American Heritage and
This would be a new TIF.
this would just be the new one by itself?
This would be the DeKalb Airport TIF.
How many years are left in American Heritage again? I always forget.
3.
Okay, so it's about, okay. So then we would want to include this part that's down here that's part of American Heritage now
Part of this one.
as part of this one.
Yeah, so I would,
So we wouldn't have a weird window
this-
in there.
yeah, right, this would go with the redoing of the American Heritage TIF.
Yep.
And kind of cleaning it up, so we don't have these great big long tentacles. Okay, so proposing County Road 60, 69.
Yep.
Cross 64, maybe over to County Road 27. Up to 62, back to 60, or back to 31. Like that.
Can you draw me a picture?
I'm
I'm a
working
visual
on it.
fellow.
Working on it.
I'm a visual fellow.
You said all the way over to 69.
He's got the mark.
That's my initial,
Yep. Yep. All the way over, like right at the rest area and then up, yep. Seems pretty logical to me. Doug did it, got it.
You were talking to
Well,
69,
We'll verify. Trust but verify. Yep, that's what you do. Yep, yep.
So, one, down,
Draw it now.
all the way across 69. So then you have it coming across on 60. Are we removing the properties to the north of 60? Or are you gonna keep those?
That's just zoning.
Oh, okay, sorry.
No, you're okay.
yeah, that's
Yeah, see,
all
there's
mostly all
nothing-
residential, I
It's just
can't
this
see
little
that
box now that's part of it.
changing.
That's at the end of the, new end of the runway.
And we don't,
The new hangars and stuff will go to the south, because they can go back.
Draw it too, it's driving me nuts. County Road 31.
and I'm also good moving it back off of 27, back a little ways. Because there's a bunch of residential down through there that
Yeah.
it's never gonna convert over. I don't see it happening.
Put one on the other side of the road, right? Good.
So we can jockey it around, just kind of following the airport zoning. If that makes-
Rocket across
Yeah,
on
build a
the
window
lower
over there.
pink over to the gray,
Yeah,
what you're saying?
yeah,
That makes sense to me.
okay,
And then follow the gray?
yep. Basically, it's taking out that green chunk right there.
Taking this out, right?
Yeah, just taking out all that green.
Yep.
Yeah.
Follow that.
Follow the zoning.
Mm-hmm.
Ellen, do you know anything else? That,
Most airport businesses.
Yep.
we can cut, we can take,
269 though, I would probably go from there.
yeah, I'm thinking of that. And we can take out the rest area because state owned, so it's really irrelevant too. Are we good with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Follow it. Okay. All right, and then the last one is American Heritage area. Okay, so you can see right now, looking at the big map, what is already there. So in this packet with the American Heritage map, I'm showing you where the city is with the red lines. And then the last couple of pages are the preliminary discussions of the racetrack that we've all heard about, and it's been in the public, about, in my very best art ability, I showed her roughly what I would imagine a track would look like.
I know you're a big race car fan, so.
Right?
That's accurate. Goofball.
Yeah, that just gives you guys an idea of what potentially could, if that were to happen. Which is a 50-50.
Daryl's gonna do it.
I mean, one thing is something will eventually go in.
Yeah.
Eventually something will go in there. Very little infrastructure that's there because it's just a big.
So looking at what they have on the big map, the only thing I would say is going from where it is up County Road 23 to County Road 50, which picks up the mini warehouse project up there, across 50. Talking with the mayor, it looks like they're gonna possibly annex down to 50 at some point, possibly. Maybe. Maybe not.
50-50.
50-50 again. I don't know if there's any point to pick up the solar because that's already developed. I don't know if they're gonna do anything else in there. On the other side, 69. We could pick up the parcel between the solar and where we're at now.
I mean, the solar probably has a 30-year lifespan, and they're what, 8 years in at this point? So what happens to it after that? If it gets redeveloped, or new solar gets installed,
Right.
might be worth having, right?
Yeah, that's still way down. You can always put another TIF on it if you needed to.
Oh, yeah, yep, yep.
And then I think how it runs on 17 is fine. So the rest of that's fine. Actually picking up on 427 and 11A, the triangle piece, because that's commercial. I don't know if the Heron Lake makes sense to do. I don't know if they're gonna do anything commercial in there or not. What do you,
I mean, I think that would be, there's probably more potential to do a residential TIF if we were gonna do one in there, but I think, just because until you get the houses built, no commercial is likely, commercial likes to follow the people, so until they can figure that piece out.
Yeah.
And if they can, then having a residential TIF might be a good idea.
I'm just thinking for the roundabout, because we've been pushed on that a little bit, is that we might want to pick up that area along the front. At least we need to touch where the roundabout's gonna go. so,
Go across 427 doesn't make sense.
yeah, okay,
We just have to touch it, right? So,
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just carrying over to that. Okay, and then south, that's all ag and residential. Yeah, I agree. So really just picking up that little piece to the north and then that triangle piece.
And removing the airport piece.
And then, yeah, taking the airport out of it.
Have that attached onto the airport.
right.
You're thinking if that happens, putting them both together in one?
Yeah, as right now, I think the plan of keeping them separated makes more sense. If the racetrack does come in, I would probably want to keep that little strip.
Okay,
Because people are gonna have, condominiums at the racetrack,
Fly in.
and they're gonna probably build hangars, so that way we can
Yep.
help each other out.
mm-hmm.
Okay, would you said they're probably gonna look at what, putting them together?
We would look at putting them together.
The airport one and,
Yeah, and leaving that strip down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But
which,
without the racetrack, it doesn't make sense. The racetrack would make sense, because they would fly in, have a hangar down there, condominium.
yeah. And we can arguably say we can keep separated too and just say, yeah, because it's benefiting both of the two diffs.
To rent it out, Heritage TIF to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think,
If we can do that, that's fine, but I just know that how airports work, like you explained, is they own the land. If we could build a few hangars and bond it and then rent them out, that's how you'd get the money back on them.
Yep.
And if they are flying in and coming and then taking their car from there, driving up there, racing and coming back, you're gonna get, but
I think it's that scenario is an easy, whether they're together or separate, they benefit each other. So, I think you go either way.
we can do it with this separate.
Okay.
Yeah, I think, given everything happens, we can make that argument pretty easily.
When will we know more about the racetrack?
That's why I said it's 50/50.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's being generous. Okay,
hey, wait, you didn't,
I know. You guys good with that layout? Okay, so what we're gonna do with the American Heritage TIF would be to pick up the triangle piece at the corner of 427 and County Road 11A, on the south side of 11A, and carrying it north along County Road 23 up to County Road 50, carrying it across 69 along the south side of the solar project, County Road 19, and then carrying it down to County Road 52. So it's just picking up the parcels to the north of the current.
cross I-69 on the south side of the solar project to,
County Road 19, and then south to County Road 52, where it connects back into the TIF, existing TIF. All right. There is our beginning.
Just so I'm clear on this. This is creating maps so that when development happens, we're ready with the plan, or we're planning on.
So right now, all we're trying to do is get an agreement on where the TIF districts will be. So we're not going to engage an attorney at this point to do any calculations or anything. It's to have, basically start having some community input to see if anybody has any other opinions. And then to show development-wise, is it this is what we're looking at, and we're ready for development to happen. Good?
Great.
Good.
Okay. Is there any other business before the RDC today? Seeing none, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
In favor?
Aye.
Aye. We're adjourned.